Well, hello, everybody. I'm so glad to see you today. I don't know about you, but I woke up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed this morning and ready to face a brand new day. One of the things that uh, came to mind right after I got up and took care of my basic routine and had poured myself a cup of coffee as I was looking around was I got a lot of stuff. I don't know about you, but tends to accumulate in this house. I don't always know where all of it comes from, but all of a sudden one day I look around and think to myself, geez, I think I need to tidy up things a little bit. I know that decluttering is a topic of a lot of conversations throughout the day for a lot of people when they get together in a coffee clutch and are just talking about their lives. And it is amazing how clutter can impact our lives and how we choose what is clutter and what is treasure and what needs to be kept and what doesn't. And sometimes it's difficult to make decisions. And so I was thinking about how I could sort of ease into the process and not have to make it such a great big deal. And I began to jot down in a notebook some of the things that I thought might be easy stuff to discard from my uh, space, whether it be physical or mental, whether it be at home or at work, whatever, so that I could tackle some of the bigger changes and the harder decisions later on once I was used to letting go of stuff. Because I think we tend sometimes to be a little bit possessive about the things that we have for whatever reason. And sometimes the reasons are really deep, and it is a struggle to decide. We cannot keep everything. Absolutely, we cannot. Uh, I know for a fact that my oldest son's baby shoes will probably not be used. Why am I hanging on to them? I remember when I got them, I remember him wearing them. I keep those treasured memories always. He doesn't want them. I ask him. Uh, so why shouldn't I give my clutter to him so that it's his clutter? So at any rate, what I thought out I would try to do is come up with a list of things to sort of get me in the mindset and not raise my stress level. Uh, if you need to declutter, you might find this interesting as an exercise too, especially if you find yourself resisting. Uh, One of the things that I thought about as I was putting this list together is uh, I'm never going to miss a lot of the stuff that accumulates in my space. So to make the process easier, maybe I could start with this list uh, and just take my time, do a little each day, and decide, and boy, this is hard, to not bring in anything new unless I make space by removing something else. Then I can maybe begin to reflect on larger challenges and changes that I really would like to make. One thing that I know for sure, having been engaged in this process for a little bit of time, is you don't really miss any of these low level things once they're gone. So, first of all, I tackled physical clutter in my home and in my car. just, in my basic living space, in my office, whatever. And this was a huge help to me. In there, I was looking around, and here are some things I found that probably um, would be easy to part with. Uh, Old magazines and newspapers. How do they just keep piling up? I say I'm going to read the recipe, but that magazine from 2019 that I dog-eared the corner in, I'm probably not going to use that. Expired pantry items. I hate to tell you the expiry date on some of the items I found in the back of my pantry. They're not safe for human consumption. Burnout candles. Why am I hanging on to a burnout candle? I've got a box of new candles in case there is a power outage and some matches in a handy dandy place. But I keep all these burn old candles. Uh, Old computers and printers and cords and jacks and adapters. Um, I haven't had some of this stuff in working order for a long, long time, and it's just taking up space in my garage or in my basement. Restaurant condiment packets. Oh, come on. How many packets of ketchup and mustard and vinegar do I need in my life? Old, worn out shoes and clothes. They're not even something I would consider giving away. And I'm not going to even mention size variations and style. And no, probably my bell bottoms from back in the day are never coming back in style, let alone will they fit my current body shape. Scratchy or stained blankets. Come on. Games with missing parts. So you can't even play the game, but you keep hanging on to it. Manuals for items that I no longer even have. Old makeup and toiletries that are really past their prime and need to be discarded. Expired gift cards. Kitchen gadgets that I bought and never used. Dried up paint cans. Empty or near empty cleaning products, old CDs or DVDs that I haven't played in years, dusty collectibles that I really don't love, but I keep them in case that person might come to my house so I can set it out. Come on. Broken electronics, too many mugs, too many glasses, uh, excess pillows, old cell phones, adapters, cords, chargers, old broken missing part items. That's just here within reach. Doesn't have to be a big deal. I did start the practice of after a holiday, because I like to decorate for the holidays. Before I put everything away, I would go through the boxes and look at all the stuff that didn't bother to set out and decide whether it was keep or go. And it was amazing how much of that stuff was go. It was broken, it was tattered, it was worn, it didn't work anymore, didn't fit with what I was doing now. I want to hang on to it. And then I began to look at digital clutter, which we don't even think about. How much unread email is in my inbox? Unused apps on my phone. I bet you're like me and you have a whole bunch of apps you don't even know what they do or how they got there. Old photos and videos you never even look at. One of the things that I actually enjoyed doing not too long ago was going through all the digital images I had and remove all the duplicates that I had on my computer and put them all in a thumb drive so I can use it in my picture frame display. That was fun. And boy, did I free up space on my computer by doing that. Uh, Unsubscribed newsletters. How many old newsletters are you saving that you haven't looked at forever? And how about unsubscribing to some of the newsletters that you're now getting that you don't look at either? um, Old browser bookmarks I had found on the computer when I went through this one day and you can do these just in, where I don't have much to do. I've got some spare time. Doesn't mean just when you've got 5 or 10 minutes here or there. Anyway, I found old browser links for sites that don't even exist anymore. That's silly. Uh, Bloated computer files. Do I have files so full of so much junk that I'm never going to process it, never going to use it, and so it just takes up space, makes the computer slower. Uh, you know the drill. uh, Social media accounts that I don't use. Uh, how many of us have signed up to join a social media group for something we were interested in at one time or another, and that's passed? But you still have the account. Maybe you could free up space by not having that just on your computer. Then there's the mental and the emotional baggage, and that was really interesting. That took some reflection, and I recommend doing that when you're in a positive state of mind. It's much more easy for me to do it when I'm in a positive state of mind. Uh, were there any old grudges that I needed to let go of? Hmm. If I've been dragging that grudge around with me for the last 20 years, maybe I really just need to toss it aside. Past mistakes that I can't change. How long am I going to beat myself up because I made a mistake? What about the forgiveness that I need to show myself uh, about the mistakes and what I learned from it? Worrying about others' uh, uh, opinions. Um, why? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and changes are really good. That the only thing that will ever change anyone's opinion is how you live your life and what you really do. You can't worry about it. You just need to keep living the best life you know how to do. And if you needed to make amends and ask for forgiveness or apologize for something, do it and then let it go. Uh, don't keep beating yourself up for it. It doesn't do any good. It just weighs on your mind. Uh, how about this one? When it comes to mental and emotional baggage, the need to be right. Ooh, ouch, pinch. Are you that kind of a person that is a right fighter? I hope not, uh, because you can be right and be very, very wrong in insisting that you're right. How about comparing yourself to others? Uh, hey, you are you. You are not anybody else. Don't go comparing your life to anybody else's. It'll just make you wonder. And you don't know what their circumstances are anyway. You know, they may appear to be something they totally are not. How about overthinking past conversations, just dwelling on she said, I said, um, I could have said, I would have said, I should have said, hey, let it go. It's over. How about negative talk? Do you beat yourself up with the language you lose about yourself? Um, do you have a perfectionist streak where if you don't do it perfect, it's not a successful adventure? Uh, I've probably learned more by my mistakes than I have anything else. Uh, there's no perfect person that I know of in this world. All of us mess up from time to time. So get rid of needing to be a perfectionist. Uh, Fear of failure. Will you sometimes not even try to do something because you're afraid you fail? To me, failure is just evidence that I have more to learn. And so I learn more and maybe it works the next time. Maybe I still need to learn more. But if failure is evidence that you're trying to live your best life, uh, how about clutter on your to-do list? Wow. Uh, do I fill my to-do list with a bunch of stuff that really doesn't matter all that much and deprive myself of the time needed to accomplish more meaningful things? How about unrealistic expectations? And that leads right into the perfectionism that we were talking about just a second ago. Uh, are your expectations of yourself so high that you don't give your self a chance for self improvement? Uh, do you ever play the what if game or the if only game? What if I had done this? What if I did that? If only I. Well, you didn't. Uh, and it probably isn't going, I'm probably not going to win the lottery. Yes, it's fun to what if it and say, if I were to win the lottery, what would I do? But it really is sort of a waste of time. Chances are, with me, first you have to buy a ticket, and I don't usually remember to do that. How about overanalyzing and everything? Do you overthink it? Do you waste time and energy just going over it and going over it and going over it? Again, that relates to the what if game. Uh, and then there's the clutter that you can clear out with things that are draining your energy from you, that take away time you could be using elsewhere. Holding grudges is one. It takes a lot of time and energy to hold a grudge. Have you ever said to yourself, why was I mad at them anyway? I don't remember. Well, your mind has let go of it, whether you consciously have gotten the message or not. Watching TV shows that you don't enjoy. Oh, dear me. Uh, have you ever said there's nothing on TV, but you keep on watching it anyway? Why don't you go do something else if you're not enjoying whatever is on the boob tube? Uh, how about procrastinating? How much time and energy do you ex- expend not doing something, putting it off until some other time? How about being the yes person? Do you waste a lot of time and energy when you say yes to pretty much everything anybody asks of you? It's okay to say no. It really and truly is. And save your energy and your time for things that really have significant meaning. How about wasting time and energy on scrolling through social media? Uh, can you not put your phone down and forget it's there for maybe 2 minutes? Uh, I have found with my grandchildren that I am better off if they are not engaged with social media when they come to my house. Simply because I really want to spend time with my grandkids doing stuff. I really don't want their nose stuck in their cell phone. So, this mindless scrolling of social media can really be irksome to me, and it takes away the time that we could be sharing and making new memories. And it certainly is energy draining. So I simply put down my social media as for certain periods of the day where I do not engage in it. Uh, I think back to like when my mom first started out with rearing her family, she had a party line. And she would tell me that, she would pick up the phone and she would talk to the operator and they would connect her. And long distance calls cost a small fortune, so she rarely called her brothers and sisters who lived in other cities, and there were charges involved. You can do without constant contact. Now you're going to say, well, I've got a sick relative. They need to get in touch with me. Absolutely. And that's totally understandable. But that is not mindless scrolling of social media to see if somebody has responded to a text about a recipe or something. I mean, it just isn't essential to your life. How about friendships that aren't reciprocated? Uh, why continue them if they're one-sided? To me, friendship requires uh, common ground and uh, common interest and common concern. And if there's nothing coming back, why are you doing it? How about toxic relationships where the other person is really not good for you? It is in a way poisoning, toxic. How about old hobbies that you used to do, uh, lost interest in, or gr- grew out of, or no longer enjoy? Are you still keeping the hobby and all the stuff associated with the hobby? Maybe you could donate it to a group that also tries to help interest people in new things and new ideas. Something that you have moved on from may be wonderful to experience and sample for someone else. Uh, how about sending constant emails and texts and messages? Now, there's a time drain, and that's happens from the mindless scrolling. You can consume most of your day and get absolutely nothing accomplished just by doing those things, by saying, yep, right, I agree. Things that really are of little consequence and on a topic that really is pretty much frivolous. Uh, Commitments that drain your energy. Do you do that? Do you make all, again, as a yes person, do you make commitments that you really would prefer to devote your time and energy to other concerns that might be more productive and rewarding, not only for you, but for the others involved? How about junk mail? Uh, do you actively work to block junk mail from coming into your inbox? Uh, how about unnecessary meetings? Are Do you attend or schedule meetings that really don't need to be held and waste your time and energy and maybe other people's time and energy uh, by doing those things? Uh, how about gossiping? Whoa. Now, there is a true waste of time and energy. Uh, there was a clipping that when I was a teenage girl appeared in our local newspaper. And for some reason, that clipping really resonated with me. And I cut it out and stuck it in my wallet. And to this day, that clipping always goes in my wallet whenever I change as a reminder of the worthlessness of gossip. And what it says is real simple. It says, who dares another's name to stain shall not dine with me again. I detest gossip, and I really shut down and walk away from whenever possible, and it is almost always possible, people begin to gossip. Uh, and that goes even with a lot of news I see on television. To me, a lot of it is just speculation and gossip, and I consider the source. And then the final time and energy drain for me is staying up too late. We need our rest. Rest is so beneficial, so therapeutic, so recuperative. Just staying up late drains our energy from us. So when a new day dawns, we're actually uh, not prepared to do our best with the gift it is. Uh, and then the last area that I considered, and it can be for a lot of people a really big problem, is uh, my financial and consumer habits. Uh, do I impulse buy from advertising I see in whatever situation? And things that I really regret and don't use. If that's sitting on a shelf, that's a reminder of the regret and dissatisfaction you had uh, because you didn't bother to send it back. That, would take too much time and energy, but, uh, you know, thoughtless spending very often, especially from advertising, can really clutter your space. Subscriptions you don't use, are you getting a subscription to something that you make no use of? Why waste your money like that? Uh, Impulse online shopping, and boy, they know how to market to the public. Your pathways through the internet create algorithms that make you quite susceptible to products that they want to peddle to the unsuspecting buyer. Um, I find it very useful if something like that happens to me to just put it on pause to the next day and not do anything, because very often by the next day you've even forgotten what it was. Um, how about paying for unused membership? Have you ever joined a gym and signed up for a year-long contract for it and have gone to the gym 3 times? Not exactly a good financial or consumer habit to get into, and sort absolutely not beneficial for the purpose for which it was attended. And then how about collecting just in case items? I mean, if there is a major disaster, will the items that have been sitting on the back of your shelf even be consumable or capable of even being used for their intended purpose? Why are you stockpiling so much stuff? It's okay, to be appropriately cautious and appropriately prepared, but it certainly is not necessary to try to prepare for every Armageddon situation that might come along without doing an inventory of how long that stuff has been sitting on the shelf. So this is 60 things that could really painlessly free up so much of not only your physical space, but your mental space without creating a lot of let go stress. Uh, so maybe you could have a little fun just reviewing the list and thinking about some of the things that I haven't even touched on that may be an issue in your life, because we're all different. Uh, I think you'll find, like I have done as I've gone through this, and am still going through it on a regular basis, because, like I say, clutter slips in there whether you're aware of it or not, that I am creating this space for more peace, a greater ability to focus, And that brings me genuine joy and happiness, and no angst in trying to decide which things I most want to let go of as we move along. Uh, like I say, uh, give it a try, see what you find. Uh, it could just free your life up to make you wake up in the morning bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and like I said at the beginning, and ready for a brand new magnificent day that is a gift to you. Uh, don't waste the present. Declutter what you can, where you can, and always remember that life is to be enjoyed freely and fully throughout our time here on the planet. So, you have a great day. Go and look around your house and see what you can let go of, and lighten your load. I will talk to you later. Bye for now.